Today, I want to explain why we're seeing another wave of freight and logistics bankruptcies, even though the overall U.S. economy appears stable. This is not a simple rate cycle. It is a structural reset driven by changes in trade, labor, and regulation. First, imports from China have fallen about 10 to 15% over the past year. Some months show sharper drops, but the broader trend is clear. This decline is not caused by weaker consumer demands. It reflects the major reorganization of supply chains. As we see, more freight is shifting to Mexico and Latin America. More shipments are coming in from Vietnam, India, and Southeast Asia. We're also seeing modest growth in domestic manufacturing, and retailers are keeping smaller inventories. So, as trade shifts, freight patterns inside the United States change as well. Goods are traveling shorter distances. That means fewer ton miles, even when consumer demand is steady. Second, the changes are reshaping where labor is needed. Activity at the West Coast ports have eased, and meanwhile, freight movement is rising in Texas, Arizona, and across the border region. Inland, cross-dock hubs are expanding as well. These shifts have created pockets of driver shortages in some regions and excess capacity in others. This mismatch appears even when national freight demand looks soft. Third, the CDL workforce is shrinking. Stricter identity verification rules and immigration enforcement have reduced the informal driver pool. So many small carriers left the market in the last downturn, and those drivers have not returned. Retirements also exceed the new CDL entrants. So even with a slightly lower freight volume, driver supply has fallen even faster. So this is why we don't see a true surplus of available drivers. Fourth, carrier still faces rising costs. Insurance premiums continue to rise, financing costs remain high, maintenance and parts are expensive, and much of the equipment purchased during the peak in 2021 and 2022 still need to be paid for. At the same time, much of the capacity added during the pandemic has not fully exited. Spot prices remain soft and contract rates adjust slowly. All of this creates a persistent imbalance in the industry. When you're looking at bankruptcy and carrier exit data, the pattern is clear. The failures are concentrated among small and mid-sized carriers. Owner-operators and 5-truck fleets often shut down quietly. However, mid-sized regional carriers appear in formal bankruptcy filings. Large carriers, however, are not collapsing. You're consolidating. This is a fundamental shift in the industry structure, not a systemic failure. So looking ahead, there are three forces that will shape the next phase of logistics. The first is continued consolidation. Larger fleets with better compliance and financial systems will absorb the market share. The second is workforce strategy. We will need lawful CDL recruitment among legal immigrants, faster CDL training through community colleges, partnerships with Mexico and Latin America, and modernized visa options that align with nearshoring trends. Traditional compliance programs can also bring experienced drivers into full legal compliance. The third force is technology. AI and automation will not replace drivers, but they will reduce the number of driver hours needed. Route optimization, dock and yard automation, autonomous yard tractors, and advanced driver assist systems will all improve productivity. In short, today's freight bankruptcies reflect a structural reset driven by shifting import geography, a shrinking CDL workforce, tighter enforcement, and continued cost pressure. Carriers that adapt early through compliance, workforce innovation, and targeted automation will be positioned to lead the next phase of American logistics. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed today's discussion.